I mean, we seem to take book smarts and common sense to a whole different level. And what bothers me is that people want to be so educated that they water down common sense. And so let's dive right into this. It's probably going to be ugly. And if you feel like you want to debate, which I know some of you might want to, go ahead and leave your comments. And I'm going to use my basic common sense with you. Is that with the conversations and topics of women in general, speaking on the topic of how women dress and nobody should tell women how to dress, and it doesn't give men the right to disrespect them or degrade them in any type of way. Think about that for a second. If you yourself think it's okay to wear the shortest shorts revealing everything, I'm talking about you're revealing everything. And this is where I go deep at. You have people who are sick-minded. You have those who are in child pornography. You got people who are rapists and things of that nature. And you try to justify that it's okay to go out and reveal yourself in an inappropriate manner and thinking that you won't send off the radar to these pervs. That's common sense. You don't have to read a book and then we get shocked when somebody comes up missing or something happens. Like, the war is out in the world. It's okay that you post what you want to about how you feel to these things that are happening, but it's just a reaction because you're leaving these comments on your girlfriend's posts that are out here slaying and looking good, but when she comes up missing, you're trying to justify the actions on this. It's no different than a drug dealer selling drugs. He's only going to go to the ones who fiend for the drugs. He's not looking for new clients. He's going where the people are fiending for the drugs at. No, I don't know a lot about drugs, and maybe I've seen a lot of movies and stuff like that, but it's just common sense. Is that you go to the people that you know. So if a dude sees you that's thinking, hey, she's going to reveal herself and put herself out there like that, he's going to target her because he thinks it's okay. Until you tell him otherwise, and then it's like, don't touch me, don't do this, don't do that. But in the same factor, why put yourself out there in harm's way? Because you're allowed to do whatever you want to. And I feel like a lot of people like to justify what it is that they're doing. They like to debate on everything. And I think those who debate on everything are just not trying to come out of their own shell. They don't want to grow. They don't want to do anything. So they want to challenge and debate with everything that's going on and justify what's really right and what's wrong. And everything is being watered down by political stands and money, slandering, lies, and everything else. So let's just speak the truth. Like, when it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong. There's no in between when it comes to that. And so, again, if you go into a store and you see something, you have to have a job. Of course, technically you don't. Let me change that around. But in order to get whatever's in that store, you got to come out of pocket, right? But a thief who takes and thinks that everything is theirs, they're going to go into the store and they're just going to take it. Now, you geniuses over there, is that right or wrong? And how are we going to justify it? See, the world is going to break it down and they're going to put color on it. They're going to put a cultural status on it. And you people eat that up. you want to go to the book of knowledge to try to figure it out when it's just really common sense. Is that okay? The dude stole had nothing to do with color, but let's throw color on it so we could justify the actions of what's going on here. It's wrong for a person to go into a store and take something that's not theirs. Just as in being in a committed relationship, it is wrong to seek somebody else when you're with somebody else. But do we need a preacher? Do we need a pastor? Do we need a counselor to tell you that it's wrong for you to have eyes for somebody else when you're with somebody else? I'll wait a second. Because half of you guys, like I said, like to justify your actions. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Like, we cry so much when things happen to other people, but you have the ability yourself to go out and speak to these people who are on your friends list who are doing these things. Be like, hey sis, I'm not trying to judge you, but with the things of the world right now, like, I tighten it up a little bit, sister. Like, nobody's invincible, nobody's untouchable. Like, things are happening to everybody. I had people that were close to me who told me when I would post pictures, even if I was working out and I was shirtless, is that, hey, you might want to tighten that up a little bit. I'm putting myself out there inappropriately and I'm getting those reactions. Yes, what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. So if you're very inappropriate, provocative, doing what you want to do, you can't really get mad when those things come back to you, because those are the seeds that you're planting out into the world. So those are what fruits are coming back to you. Everybody can't be a goody two shoes, and I'm far from that. I'm far from that. That's why I want to make this video, because I feel that a lot of people are justifying what it is that they're doing, and they think is okay, and it's not. Like, the things that you plant, sooner or later grow, and you reap the benefits of that. Those fruits naturally come back to you. And so for you educated people, just use your common sense sometimes to understand the difference between right and wrong. I mean, you know it, but you want it to fit your situation at that certain time that something is going on. And the only way that this world is going to heal and progress and move forward is that we address things for what they truly are. Right, wrong. And you feel like people are not going to listen to your voice. You feel like people are just going to throw you by the wayside. I mean, I really don't feel a person that, just like when the Black Lives Movement happened, there was so many people who posted their opinions and how they felt. And within the little town that I'm in, there was a no-show. Nobody showed up at all. So it's like, you could do a lot of barking, but if you ain't biting, it don't mean nothing. You're just making a lot of noise. And that's the problem with the nation today, is that there's too much noise and not enough action. So, I mean, we got to do better. It's obvious that we know we got to do better, but the question is, do we want to? Do we just want to keep doing what we want to do and let them just be selfish acts? Because with selfish ways comes selfish consequences. Everything that you do in this world has a consequence for it. And to go back, I'm not saying that you have to dress and cover yourself up. I know it's hot. You know it's hot. I mean, for God's sakes. But if you know, like I said, if you walk around in a certain way, you're going to get looked at in a certain light. And you get pissed off because there's murderers, rapists, rapists out there trying to do what they do. People are sick. If this up here is not correct, it's making bad decisions. And some of the times, have you who are out there driving, If your mind ain't right, you're throwing your car, which is a heavy machinery, into a difficult situation that could harm somebody else. But again, we try to justify everything that we do. We try to justify our actions. Right is right, wrong is wrong. When you wake up, the first thing you need to do is get with God. You need to clean your mind frame. You need to clean out your filter and make sure you're right with the man above before you step out into the world of chaos and start debating everything that's going on. Because a lot of times, like I said, you're just barking. You're barking and you're not doing anything. You're not leaving the print. You're just making a lot of noise. And somebody that is really hurting on your page or who's going through something, you could have been reaching out to them. But you're reaching out and reposting things that are happening to somebody you have no knowledge or no clue over. That's the sad thing about all of this, is that you got your own friends and your own neighbors who are going through something today that you're doing nothing about. But something that happens to somebody else in another country or another place, you're jumping right on that. You're jumping right on it. And I dislike to think that you want that attention, but it's obvious that you want that attention to be placed on you, that you care. Well, care about your friend and your neighbor next to you first before you care about somebody else over in a foreign land. This is what God meant when he said, go out into the world and preach the gospel and make disciples. You make disciples in your own city, in your own area, before you go do something in somewhere else. Because I guarantee, like I said, you're just barking and making a lot of noise, but you're not making an impact. So, I hope this video was encouraging and would help some of you guys. And like I said, it's only going to get uglier if we don't speak the truth. And this is the difference between right and wrong. God bless.